Hello, Tops friends. Another Friday. Kind of casual today. Here in Maine, you get one day of summer, and apparently today's it. It's going to be over 90 degrees with humidity, but that's okay. We'll get the one day and then probably have a snowstorm next week. I'm speaking with you today from my wife's craft room because it's the coolest room in the house right now. So that's why you see all the stuff in the background. So thank you, Anne, for letting me use your room today for this talk, so I can stay cool. Wanted to share some good news with you folks. Chapters have started meeting across Tops Nation. Some of them are having weigh-ins, some of them are meeting outside, but I can see that progress is being made. But the best part of this is that people are sharing the news that members are coming back with losses, and that's just great. That's a goal that I have. That when I have my weigh-in, hopefully soon, that we have a loss struggling. But congratulations to everyone who's gone through this period without meeting and still was able to come in to show a loss. That's just great. Also, what's going on with Tops Nation is that recognition days are being planned and shifted around, and hopefully they'll start up in a month or so. That's good, and I'm very happy with the positive attitude that I'm seeing out there as we go through this tough time. Uh, Members realizing that things aren't as what it used to be, and that's great that they continue with that positive attitude, and I think that helps kind of give the field staff a shot in the arm, so to speak, to continue on. So that's good. Let me touch back a moment on the fact that folks are coming back to chapters with a loss. That shows me that TOPS is working. That with TOPS, that you're using lessons learned in the past to get you through these tough times. And I wanted to talk a little bit today about what else have you learned about yourself during this time. As an example, I always had a rough time with if I knew I was going to be out of town and I was going to miss a meeting, I kind of played the game. Well, I can eat a little bit of extra this, or I can have that, thinking, oh, I got another week to take it off, and I'd play that game. Not ashamed to admit it. So you can imagine realizing not having any meetings. There is the chance that I could continue on with my game playing. And I've been able to kind of hang on and get by. I seem to be bouncing back and forth. But just to put it in perspective, I'd play that game realizing I was just going to miss one meeting, and I'd catch up later on. But right now, it's been 105 days, 10 hours, and 5 minutes since my last official weigh-in. And I'm not where I want to be, but I know where I could have been if I didn't have the support of TOPS, or I hadn't implemented the lessons I've learned since I joined TOPS in 2002. And I think that's important because important to know, we will get through this pandemic. And I'd like to say 2021 will happen without any episodes of anything. But as I mentioned in the past, there's always going to be something that's going to disrupt our lives. And I think that's sometimes where I get into the game playing. And I've learned that in order to stop the game playing is that I have to continue with a balanced schedule, which is difficult. but I remember a time, the time when I went to the last men's retreat, and Barb happened to be the facilitator of that. And I remember that week really, really working on and talking with folks and stuff about balance. And in order to have that balanced schedule so that you seem to have some sense of control. And maybe that's what you're learning during this time, that, you're not controlling, you can't control everything that's going on uh, around you and stuff, but you try to get some sense of normal. We've heard the expression, "What's the new normal what's the new normal gonna be?" Well, I would say to you folks, there's always a new normal. We're always adapting. We're always taking lessons learned from the past and applying them to the moment that we're in right now, or a moment that we're going to be in 3 months from now, or whatever what happens in our lives. So I'm going to try real hard not to play the game. I'm learning, like I said, during this time to work on my balancing act, to stay in control. And I just want you folks to reflect on, what have you learned during this time? Now, I know it's easy to say, well, I've learned to use Facebook with a higher degree of dexterity, so to speak, or I'm learning how to Zoom and Skype and stuff. But, eventually we were going to learn that anyway. So, but I'm talking about, what have you learned about yourself? What have you learned about how you can control your willpower during rough times, so that you don't reach out for that cookie or that candy or that sweet drink to try to get you through the moment. Um, you know, when things get tough, we tend to learn things about ourselves, and I think it's important to take some time to reflect on what you've learned, even if it's just one thing. Just reflect back over these 105 days for me, on what you've learned and what you can use to go forward when we get back to that new normal. So that's really all I have to say today. I'm actually getting some work done for next week's chat, where I want to do something a little bit different for you folks, and kind of challenge you to go forward with that. So again, have a great Friday and a great weekend. I'm going to enjoy my one summer day that I get here in Maine, and I'll see you next week.